Helicopters, gunfights with massive transport systems and rocket launchers, plane battles, and all-out tank warfare, taking down helicopters in a tank. Welcome to Battlefield 2042 on Shadow PC. Okay, I have a slight confession to make. I may be a bit of a Battlefield fan, and I must admit this is the most fun I've had in any game or Battlefield game since Battlefield 2. Yes, Battlefield 4 was good, but I felt that it was lacking a bit of the original Battlefield kind of vibe. That is definitely back in 2042. Being able to take transport helicopters, jump on to a point, deploy all your troops, hop out and take down a transport system with a rocket launcher is what Battlefield is all about. All-out warfare, and being able to do this on a virtual PC is just absolutely astounding. I really wasn't sure what to expect from Shadow PC here. I expected Battlefield 2042 to bring it to its knees, which it did a bit on high settings, but on medium at 1440 here you can see, even with all the explosions and a full-out gunfight on top of a building, we're still getting 30 to 50 frames per second. It did drop down into the mid-30s there, but really not too bad. And it's raining, of all things, so that extra effects going on there. Motion blur is off because I just find it absolutely vile. But as we come to the edge of the roof here, just look at the draw distance and look at everything that's going on below. We can see the helicopters flying around, we can see troops moving and parachuting down to the section there. We've got an enemy drone. There's just so much going on, and Shadow PC is handling it really well at mid 40s. So we jump down here and pull the parachute. Moving around in here, it's just been so fluid. Again, dropping down into the 30 frames per second. And we got one of those little funky robots that I'm not sure the best way to kill, but fortunately it didn't kill me in time, and I did get some team backup. There's just so many aspects to Battlefield 2042 that just brings back the overall Battlefield vibe. We've got little drones, we've got these little mechanical objects, we've got sentry guns, as well as the just all-out warfare. This was the 128 player orbital map. Also, I do switch between a controller and mouse and keyboard, so when I'm in vehicles, especially the air vehicles, the planes and also the helicopters, I actually switch to a controller because I find it much easier to control. Controlling the planes in Battlefield though is extremely tricky still, and it's something that you will need a bit more practice at. Well, I certainly need a little bit more practice at. So Shadow PC having a controller connected as well as the mouse and keyboard was absolutely seamless here as well. As soon as I jumped into a plane or a helicopter, I could just pick up the controller and take over. And once I jumped out, switch back to mouse and keyboard, just putting the controller down without an issue. So I wasn't that great in a plane, however in a helicopter it was a lot better. The aiming system has massively improved in Battlefield 2042, so when you're aiming everything slows down a little bit, so you can really get that aim in and then switch back to get your main controls. And as you can see here, it does look like random movements, but this is all actually planned out, and the effects of the wind and also the kind of backwards motion of the helicopter really does play into the effects here. But using the controller really makes that a lot easier than trying to balance it with a mouse and keyboard. As you can see, flying around though, it's still extremely fluid and pushing over 40 frames per second while I'm trying to take down a helicopter, and still those graphics are looking absolutely superb. I'm sure on 1080 you'll probably be able to push the high settings and get more than 40 to 50 frames per second as well, but running at 1440 here with the medium settings to give that stability really did look fantastic. So finishing off then with some tank gameplay. Again, just being able to switch between all these different modes of transport or be running around shooting people as well is just the essence of Battlefield. Again, not an issue driving around in the tank, and the frames per second barely dipped below 40. So really is a fantastic way to play Battlefield 2042 in the open beta. So if you do have EA Play or EA Play Pro, you will be able to install this onto Shadow without an issue. And it's not actually a huge download at the moment, it's around 20 gig. So you shouldn't have too much issue finding some space on your Shadow PC to give it a play. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be diving into 2042 and whether you played any of the previous Battlefield games. I hope that you guys have managed to get a Shadow PC or are not going to be waiting too long at least. I'll leave you with a bit more of the gameplay here so you can see just some raw gameplay of Battlefield. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things cloud gaming, and we will see you next time.
We cannot sustain any more losses.
Marking the hostile. 310 degrees. 70 meters away from my position.